Anachronism number 3255, Del Cross here, and this was posted on June 7, 2021. Subtitle, There Was an Explosion. There was an explosion. These things happen. I was new to the place. It was a place. That's what was new. And there was an explosion. I was going to be a writer. It turned out it happened most nights, at least for a while. There was an explosion, and this happened most nights for a while, so I wrote it down. One night, when it happened, I had a guest. It scared the living bejesus out of him. That's how he put it. I said it happens quite a bit. Just one. Just a magnificent bang, like right out the one window, and then nothing. Till maybe the next night, anyway. He was here the next night, too. It scared the living bejesus out of him again, but not as bad as the night before, he said. I said, exactly, and wrote it down. It was something. Those explosions, something that was happening, something that felt tragic, but wasn't, something to write down, something that sort of situated us, that gave us something to bring up, to talk about, to discuss and wonder over, and that didn't have much in the way of consequences, except it got our hearts maybe going a little bit faster and gave us what they call a thread, a piece of string to hang on to together. So it was a connection. We had those before, tons of them, even. But speaking for myself, they'd all been disconnected. Every last one of them. So it was those humongous kabooms that came at 1 or 2 in the morning, what sounded like big hollowed out bombs that went off right underneath the window and echoed way out into the city heat of the otherwise silent summer night for what seemed like a couple of minutes, till the sound of the 2 fans, one blowing on each of us because the room was always such a hot box. It was like an eternity until the sound of the fans came back to being the only thing we'd hear. And for the rest of the night, I could not even sleep, not after an explosion. Neither one of us did even sleep. As it turns out, I'd allow my eardrums to come slowly back down to just that little fan. I had it on the bed with me. It was a steam bath, still is. It doesn't matter what time of the year. Here in this room, this place that's mine now for over a decade since then. Those explosions are long since gone. Whatever they were, they quit happening. By the end of the summer, they did. But when you'd hear one, it was a big enough thing that it would literally bring you back. No joke. It was huge enough that it'd shape life out of what had become unrecognizable. That's how big of an explosion it was for both of us, I'd say, or at least I think it was just as significant for my friend. But I didn't see him again, not once after that summer. Things were starting to get pretty weird, for one thing. I mean, for one thing, he built to me, and it wasn't like I had much anything to take, but whatever it was, he took it all. He had this motivation all of a sudden, and that was new. So he took me for all that I had, which again wasn't much, but boy, did that ever charge me up. And then gone, like he never even existed. By then, though, I was back too. I had life. I had reasons. I would wake up all early of a morning, feel the blood pumping very particularly through my insides, and before I knew it, I was up and I was doing things, and we never figured out what it was that went off nights. I had absolutely no idea whatsoever. But something sure went off in me that summer, something I could not contain, and so I've got nothing but gratitude for whatever it was, those ungodly explosions, nothing but a huge amount of gratitude. Maybe it was all in my head, knowing what I know of me then, but that doesn't even matter. All I know is that I am here and that this is true, thanks, perhaps, to something that'd go boom of a night every once in a while, that long ago summer. So, were it not for those explosions,